What is up, everybody? Welcome to Turtle Talk. This is a show that is a passion project of mine that I've had for a long time in my head, and I've envisioned what it is. So I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm not even sure what number episode this is, but welcome. This is a very special one, so I kind of wanted to make sure that I set some things straight first. This is going to be an episode that I originally had planned to be a very lighthearted and fun episode, but because of the current status of our country and everything that's happening and the fear that's out there, I figured it was best to just get this one done. I haven't recorded many episodes. I have a couple like on deck, but I haven't gone through with them for the biggest reason of just being scared of putting my heart out there for the world to see. But I think this is a great catalyst to really have this conversation, and something that I want to make sure that I make clear is that this isn't a podcast that's meant to change everybody's mind on day one. I think my goal today with my guest today is to start an open dialogue and for people to be okay with communicating with people that have different stories in them, have different opinions of them, and that we can come together as a community and be one. And I think that's why this episode is happening now and why things are going as they're going to go today. So let's go ahead and introduce my first guest, or second, I don't know, my guest here today. So today with us, we've got this lovely lady here. And this is not a sponsored video. I'm not monetizing this episode, but this video is brought to you by this woman. This is my mother. I'm here to share her story as an immigrant to this country that came here legally as a single mother of 3, and just her story and what brought her here today. And we're going to do this in English, which is a big challenge for her, more mentally than anything, but I wanted to do it in English because I think people that need to hear her story speak English. But I think it's also a testament of the last 30 years of her life, because she came to this country with nothing, no money, no knowledge of the country, and no knowledge of the language. And here she is today, a successful woman. And it's my mother. So this is my mom, Elsa, Janet. I call her mom, but introduce yourself, Mom.
Hi. How are you? Good afternoon. I think still. I'm very nervous because the English, is a little bit hard for me, and I'm trying my best, and I'm very excited too because I'm here with my son. So here I am.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is I think people in this world have a very, very bad image of what an immigrant is, and I hate using this word, especially around you, as an illegal immigrant, because I think people think in this world that an illegal immigrant is somebody that's like a gangbanger, a murderer, and and that's not the truth. I think a majority of the people that come here are people like you, people that want something better for their family that they can't get back home. And I think people want to have an opportunity to better their life that they do not have back home. And it is a major sacrifice for everybody that makes that travel. So I want to talk about not only why you came here and the time before that, but I want to talk about your journey here, and for people to understand that it's not just let me get in the car and drive. It's, if I was to drive back home right now, it would take me about a week, but it took you, I think when we talked about a month. And so I want to talk about that and some of the stories, but I also want to talk about everything after and the struggles that we went through because of your immigration status. That was on top of the struggles that you have just being a single mother. So I want to talk about that. But yeah, no, a little bit about my mother is I have 2 siblings. I have my younger sister who's 12. I'm 31, I think. probably. And then my middle sister, who is 28, who, if you follow me, you've met everybody in our family, and you understand that our family dynamic is very, very much, we are a family. We spend time together. We break bread together. I mean, my little sister is our producer for this episode today. So we do everything together. But I think we just start talking about it. I think let's do it. So let's talk about, let's just go to the beginning, because I explained this to you before, that I think people think that to come here, people just make the decision and say, I'm going to go. And that it's just easy because they think that we think as people from a different country, they think that everything is easy here, which is not the case. I think that's the difference that I want to really talk about, is that it is not because we think it's easy, but it's because we think there is more opportunity. And I think because back home, you didn't have that. So let's talk about, because the story of how you came, from what I understand, because we haven't talked about this in a long time. So I remember from when we were little, when I was maybe Yesli's age, talking about this, about the night that you chose to come here. So tell them a little bit about like that time right there, because you were also pregnant with me when you were back home. So this, and this is going to be a heavy episode. So let's just start there.
Okay.
Just tell your story.
Well, yeah. Well, that time, we was with my sister and brother at home. Along that day, I didn't work, and it was time for my sister to come to this country because my mama wanted to have us with her. But my sister is the older one, and my sister never want to come over here because she doesn't want to get separate from her kids. And we decide that I can come. And I say, yes, I want to go. But I decided to come because I was in the city. Grandpa was in the little town that we are from. And I didn't ask permission to come because we always need to ask for permission for whatever we do. But I decided not to ask because I know he will say no because he didn't want to the family get split. So I just decided to come. I was 18 years old. And I prayed and I said, God, here I am, so I'm gonna try it. And it was so hard to leave my family back because we are very close, especially with at that time I have my brother and my sister, and we cried and cried because my older sister, she is like my mother, and she told me that it was a good opportunity for me. Because if I want to get a better life for my kids, this is the time that I can come. And but she didn't feel like that she can do that. And I go like, yeah, I'm gonna do that because I want to have a better life for my kids, for me. But I was so sad because our country is so beautiful. Our country has a lot of things, good things, but it has a lot of bad things too, especially safety, and I didn't want that for my kid because I know my heart was broke because I left my family back, but I know that I want something better for my own family, which was my kids.
Yeah, and I think one thing from what I understand is that at that time you were going through heartbreak as well. Because to give everybody a little bit of an insight into our family dynamic, my grandma, your mom, was here. And she had been here since you were very little. That's what I understand. So you were raised by my great-grandpa and my great-grandma.
Right.
And we had a very patriarchal family, which means like there's like the head of the family was papaito, like he's like the patriarch is like man, right?
Yes.
So he was like the head of the family, the man of the family, and everything kind of revolved around him. And I grew up knowing that. I got a chance to meet him before he passed, and around that time, I think you had just lost grandma. So you lost your mom, who that's what she was your mom, because you love my grandma, and I know we have a really good relationship then, but because she was here, and this was the 80s and the early 90s, there was no Facebook, there was no WhatsApp. It was, I get a phone call with a phone card every once in a while, and we didn't get a chance to see each other. It wasn't economical to fly back and forth, and so I know that. And so, but a lot of people don't understand that you went through the heartbreak and you didn't really have anything else to fight for. I guess you were losing that hope, is what I understand from that time, and you were going through heartbreak. And I know Grandpa was back home in our small town, because we're from a small town.
Correct.
Back home, and you had just moved to the big city. Which, if you're a farm town girl and moving to the big city with no family, having just lost family, like it's a very heartbreaking place to be. And I think mentally and emotionally, I think that was something that I know, and I felt every time you told me the stories, was a big factor in why you did it. And I know one of the things as well was that you and my dad had a relationship, and it was kind of that, like, you guys were young and in love. And when you found out that you were pregnant, like, what did that feel like, having been in that mental, like, sadness, but also now you're pregnant, now you're having a baby, you don't have a clear future in your head. What is that like?
Well, that's another thing. Because I think something that we learn from our grandparent is that we have to just, no matter what happened, you just have to keep going. So when I told your father that I was pregnant, no, I'm sorry. He didn't know that I was pregnant, because I was about to tell him. But he came with another news. And first, he told me that he had something to tell me. And I said, me too. But I said, you go first. And then he told me that he was planning to come to United States, to U.S. And I said, oh, okay. So I decided not to tell him, because I didn't want to be one of those people to put a stop him to have his dream come true. And I didn't tell him that I was pregnant. So, and then I just, continue my life. Because he have to come next day. He have to just go next day. And I didn't tell him until, let's say, 6-7 years later, when you meet your father.
Yeah, something like that.
Because, my mom went to Guatemala, and she find out where he lived and who was him. And because my family know him, my sister, one of my sister. And my mom told him that I have a son, and that he have a son right here in the United States with me. So
before we get there, because that's
okay.
That's very interesting, because I don't think I ever knew that. I don't think that I ever knew that that's why you didn't tell him. I know I thought that it was because you just wanted to start fresh, and that you didn't want him to be, I thought it was the other way around, that you didn't want him to stop you. No. But I didn't know that it was because he was planning to come here, which is because he's not here. So the people that know, like, I didn't grow up with my father. I didn't know him as a father. Like, I knew him and I knew of him, and my mom was always very respectful in that term. And I can see why, is that she always spoke to me about my dad. and was like, hey, like, you have a dad. Your dad loves you, but he just doesn't know you're around. And I didn't understand that as a kid, and so that's like that. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. That's kind of cool. Like that's
Yeah.
it's very interesting because I think about it too because I'm 31 years old, and to make decisions like that at 18, right? And I think we can. There's the conversation of, you were very young and, young and dumb and pregnant. Like that's, and that's what happens here too. But at the end of the day, you're an adult and you made a decision. And I think that's what's interesting is because what I thought was you didn't tell him because you had made up your mind that you're just going to leave and start new and start fresh. But that's crazy to me. That's 31 years. I didn't know that. So that's very, very interesting. One thing then, so you went to tell him and then didn't, and then what happened? Because I know, my understanding is it was supposed to be my tia, and she said no because she had just had my oldest cousin Jocelyn, and that's why, right? Because she didn't want to split up from the baby.
Yeah. So she said that no, she doesn't. No, because like that I said before, we never go out without permission of my grandpa or grandma. And then she said, no, I never. That wasn't her dream to come to live far away from the family because this is how we are back home. Because I think that's what we have. Latinos, we have it. We have that very close family. So most of the people that we come over here, we left that over there. But my sister said, no, I don't want to because I don't want to live separate from my family and I don't want to leave my daughter because she's just a baby.
And one thing that I think I want people to understand this is that this was communication between you and my tia.
Only.
Right? Because my grandma, your mom, said somebody to go get her and said.
But my mama thought that my sister is the one who's coming.
Right.
But in the middle of Mexico somewhere, she knows that it wasn't her older daughter. It was me. She said, wait, why Janet is coming, no Marlene? And I told her, the guy said, I don't know. I have a daughter and I don't know which one is the one that you wanted. So it's funny though. But my mama anyway, she just loved us and she was happy that I'm the one because I was the little at that time, the little one from there, right? So she was happy, but she didn't know that I was pregnant too.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't know that you were pregnant.
No.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought she knew that you were pregnant.
No, nobody knows. Only my my sister, but nobody knows. She knows because the guy who was with me, he called her and said, you need to pay me extra because I don't have one. I have two. Your daughter is pregnant. And my mama got surprised. But she was happy. I know my mama is very that kind of person that I understand, those kind of situations that.
So he asked for more money because you were pregnant?
She told my mom.
I didn't know that.
Because he said that he doesn't bring one, he bring two. But he was joking with my mom.
Yeah. So okay. So before you left, what did you know about the journey? What did they tell you? Hey, we're gonna go through A, B, C, and D, or did they tell you, we'll be there in a month and that's it? Like, what did they tell you
No.
to expect?
Yeah. Well, he said we're gonna start a new thing, and we didn't know anything because when we come, we just don't expect anything. But he just said that we have to be preparing, know a lot of things from Mexico, like the national anthem. Anthem, how do you say?
Oh yeah, anthem.
El himno nacional. a, a lot of things like the flag colors and things that we have to learn that is very like common for the uh, immigration. Should I say la policia?
For immigration.
Immigration, ask and so yeah, we learn. I learned how to sing the himno nacional, and but he didn't say it how hard um, it's crossing Mexico, because I think the most difficult things is go through Mexico.
So did you think that it was going to be like you're in a car and then you drive through Mexico, or you got on a train and you go through Mexico, like, you know, in the train, like in a seat, or what did you think, like when you decided?
He said that we just need to be prepared for whatever happened and you know and
So it's very open.
yeah, because because at the moment you can go on the bus, but I mean they will stop you. This is what happened with us, because we got the big bus, beautiful, elegant. You know, it has 2 levels, very nice. But when they come in and put everybody down, you know, they said, "Oh, come on, let's go down because I need to check all the papers and everything." And then there was a big group of girls. It was just a few guys, and like that I said, you know, I was 18, and there was a beautiful girl beside to me too, from El Salvador. I was the only one from Guatemala, and the immigration. They put us close to the river, and it's very hard, you know, because I just understand when the people crossing, especially when there's a young girls, they just want to abuse of the girls, because that's what they want. They want it that we have. Can we have
Relations.
yeah. So I have to tell them that I was pregnant. And I said, please, please don't touch me. Please don't touch me, because they want to have it, because they said if we don't have intimidation with how do you say intimidad?
If you don't do the thing
If
with
we
them,
don't, yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay.
They're going to send us back home. And I told them, you can send me back home, because I don't remember, you know, it's going to be like 33 years that I came. So, and it was so scary because we don't know anything. Even that I was pregnant, I just, you know, it's so scary that somebody want to you know, do those kind of things with you. And you don't have no experience. You don't know how to deal with those things.
So was it the people that my grandma hired, or was it people was it like
Police.
Oh, it was the police.
Police, yeah, because they are the one who have to check and put everybody down and from the bus. Inmigración.
Oh, okay. So so you got pulled over by police, and they take you aside and said, "Do this, or I'll send you home. But if you do it,
Yeah. So we decide the girls decide that we have to no. And I said, well, you can send me back home. It's okay. You whatever you want, because they said you guys are from El Salvador, because I was in the group with the girls from El Salvador, you know. And then I said, okay, so you can send me whatever you want, but no, we're not gonna do that, and that's not right. That's not right. But I mean, it's very sad. It's so stress. It's so for me. It was like because I was pregnant, I was trying to protect my baby at that time, because now it's a big man. So it was very hard.
So, I mean, and I think that speaks volumes, and what that means, because I don't know if you know, but it's like, it says a lot about what people understand. Because I think when people think of people mistreating immigrants, it's the people that are bringing you over. I think people think that it's the people are bringing you over because they want to take advantage of you, but it's the people that along the way that, in a way, are supposed to protect you, because it's the police. And it might be Mexican police, and it's, I don't know what but I think that's what people. It's not people that the people that come here don't have the bad intentions. It's the people that are supposed to protect you, supposed to give you justice, are the ones that put you in that situation, and people don't understand that.
Well, in my situation, like that I'm talking is about, I have very good experience with the person who was there, who was responsible for the group that we came. He just bring us a very good food. He bring us like um, drinks, juices, but he have to walk very far. Sometimes he just come next day because he need to walk, and we have to stay. We don't sleep in the hotel. We don't sleep well. We sleep in the forest and under the tree. And the guy came with the bags and everything. And that's the way that we eat. He treated us very good.
So
God bless him.
he would come. He was with you. It wasn't like it was somebody that like he organized it and then said, "Okay, come back."
No.
He was with you the whole way.
Yeah.
But what I think what I understand is that I'm assuming he had papers or he was legal or something, so he can go into the city, get you guys supplies, food, and then bring it to you, and then you guys move on.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the group that you were with. You said there was a lot, and I think you know why I'm getting to this, because we're a family that is very secure in our faith, right? We believe in God. We're a Christian family, and I believe in faith, and fate, which is like your destiny, and that there is a path for us. And I believe that God puts people, situations,
Angels.
and angels in your pathway to get you where you need to be. And so let's talk about the group, and then we'll get into, why I'm going there, but for the people. So how many people were going with you?
I just don't remember, but it was a big group. It was like 30, 40 people. It was a big group. And, but, when, in that time, I just have that angel, like that you say, because I was pregnant, I couldn't eat. I wasn't hungry. I just always need to throw up. But it was the man, gentleman, because he respect me a lot. He taking care of me, and he have a very good appetite.
So this was a guy that was in the group.
Yeah.
So you met this person
in the group. He was one of the person who come cruising with us. So he was my angel, and your angel, because he knows that I didn't eat, but I need to drink. And he asked the guy who was with us, with the group, he said to bring kind of juices like that. It was with a lot of nutrients. And he gave me the drinks, and I gave the food to him because
ration,
So, and I said, you eat the food because I'm not gonna eat it. So I was losing weight, but he doesn't want me to get dehydrated. So he's the one who always asked the guy for drinks instead of food, because he knew that I will give I will give my food to him. So he was so happy because he said, I'm so blessed but I want you to get my drink. So because you're pregnant, you need to drink a lot of liquid. And, God is good because he put that angel to me. And at that time, I just, that's the only thing that I can have in my stomach and not throw up. Because if I eat, I will throw up and I will be sick. But thanks God, I did have my angel with me.
And I think, if I remember correctly, so my birthday's in October, and this was like in the summer. You was like June, around there. Because I think you said you got here in August, right?
No.
No.
It was... No, I just came right here in June.
Okay.
It was a month. that it take me to come over here to United States. But that was the long
The longest month of your life.
month ever, because not only because I was pregnant, and that was so awful. I just have a lot of experience right there that it wasn't, it, no, it is not pleasant for me when I think about that. Because sometimes people say that, oh, at this time I can be in the river with my family. I can be doing this. And I was thinking about to be with my family too. But I was so sad to leave my family. But I know that whatever I go through those days, it will be good, because it doesn't matter what hard was for me. I know it's going to be good for you guys.
Yeah.
And I know that I take a good decision to come over here. But it's hard. It's very hard to leave our family and everything.
So is that what motivated you in the hard days? Like, is that what you told yourself? Like I'm doing this for my kid.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I say kid because obviously there's 3 of us now, but it was at that point just me, right? Is that what made you, like, on the really hard days, you would say, I'm doing this for my baby? Because you didn't know if I was a boy or girl, right? You didn't know.
Yes, I know. I didn't know that.
You didn't have a doctor say.
No, but I knew that it's going to be a boy.
Oh, okay.
I know it. I feel it. And I just go like, this is my son. This is my son. But I just want to have this. I just know that it doesn't matter what can happen to me, but I want to try to get here because I want you have a better life, a better opportunity to go to school. Because like that I say, sometimes I wish that they grow up back home, because we have a lot of family back home. But at the end of the day, we don't have the opportunities like they have over here to study. And that's what I did it, And here we are.
Well, I think what's also what's interesting to me, because I'm a father now. I have my wife, and you guys get along really well, obviously. My wife is pregnant right now, and she is maybe about where you were when you got here. And I look at her, and she's over there, and I love you, babe, if you can hear me. But she went to lunch today. She did laundry today, and she's over there exhausted, tired, taking a nap. And which is normal. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that's why she's over there relaxing, enjoying. But to be in that position and not be able to do that, be exhausted because you're pregnant and have to go through the desert, through the jungle, through the forest, whatever, is something that I to this day, I don't understand. I think, and I'll say this because, like I said, this is going to be something that it's going to get emotional. It's going to get very deep. And I've told you this before, and I think when I became a father, it really reminded me, and I wanted to make sure that I said it to you clearly, is that you are my hero. Because I don't understand how you did it. I don't understand how you did half the things that you did when you were being a single mom. Because I do a lot of things for my kids that are extremely hard, but I know that I have help. I do a lot of things that that aren't that hard, but I struggle with them. But I just don't understand. I don't understand how you made that trip pregnant. I don't understand how you raised me and my sister. And I say that because you're young enough that I'm looking at my little sister. You're young enough that you didn't get raised the same way that we did. So I don't understand. And you're my hero. And I say that to you, and I'm thankful for you because, like that, it's crazy to me. It sounds like a story. Like it sounds made up. It sounds like somebody thought of because of how crazy it is.
Let me tell you something. If you can just let me say this.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know if I say that to you, but I was so scared because, like did I say it? I was pregnant, right? But I was so skinny. Now I'm more beautiful, right? But there was a time that we have to go through, they call La Bestia. And at first, I didn't know what the Bestia means, right?
And to translate that, that means the beast.
Yes. So we have to go and we have to get La Bestia, el tren. And then, but this man said that we have to throw our clothes away, because if the immigration see us with bags and everything, of course they would think that we are immigrants. So here we are waiting for el tren, and but the train doesn't stop. We have to just jump on the train. And what I decide to do is, because I have some jeans at that time and I was so skinny, and I put like 3 pairs of jeans all at the same times, and I put my blouses because I didn't want to throw it away. That was a good decision that I take, because at that time I didn't know why I did it. The only thing that I said is, no, I'm not gonna want to throw my clothes away, right? I just want to keep it. And then he just the guy said, well, whatever, but I just don't want you get no bags, no nothing, and not even a jacket, because they can think that you're just going to, to visit whatever, another town, right? Another city. So, and then when the immigration come for us, we have to run, and we have to just jump out of the train. And then we just roll over, because it was a lot of, like, we call piedrin, like a little rocks.
Like pebbles, like,
And we
like
have
gravel.
Yeah, but because nothing is prepared for you. You can jump and you can just be like laying and whatever it's in there. So we just roll like a little ball, and all my friends, the people who came with me, they was with blood and everything in the arms, and all over. And I did it. I wasn't, because
You had all
I
the clothes
have
on.
the clothes. So it was a good decision that I take at that moment. I was so sore, but I was so worried, because I was pregnant. The other people, they can just jump, but for me, I was pregnant, and I was so worried that I have a miscarriage, because I have 5 months. And then there was, like you said earlier, there always we have some angels, and there was a city that we just walk and walk and walk, and these people hide us in the rooms, in the living room, under the bed. And when the immigration came to looking for us, the people that didn't let them come inside to the house. You know, this is sound like a little story, like from the book, but it's not. This is true. There is some good people in Mexico who really, really care about the immigrant, and they give us some water, they give us some food, and they don't let the immigration police, I say police, take us. And they didn't. They come out with big stick, with machetes, and they protect us, and that is amazing. I just looking and I thinking back, and I go like, wow, that was my daughter. She always is laughing about me, because my English is very, very. I speak poquito English, so there is some word that I don't know how to say it. And my daughter, she always laugh about me, because it's hard. Sorry about that, but it's meant to be.
Meant to be.
Meant to be here, because we have protection from those people. And I jump, all over to those, how do I say it?
You can say in Spanish.
Obstáculos.
Yeah, obstacles.
And I'm here, I made it. Here you are too. So,
Yeah.
and it was hard, because I just got those crumbs, because it was so painful. And then one of those ladies, she just, in the night, I was just starting having those pain in my stomach. And that lady came and she told me that I was about to have a miscarriage. And the lady come and she just do something. We just believe in those things, like massage your stomach to fix the baby, because when I was running and when I jump from the train, the baby moved. So I'm almost lose you.
Uh,
Yeah. So
'Cause I know that there was a point where, like, I think I was like coming, like being born. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so I knew that, but I didn't know that it was. I thought that I was just gonna be born. I thought that it was. I didn't know that it was.
it wasn't time.
It was like you thought it was. Okay, wow.
No, it was because when I jump high, and then I just como rebotar, like, when you just, and then I roll to the, porque era para abajo,
Yeah,
like
it was down.
down, yeah.
Rolled downhill.
So, I didn't think about that I was pregnant, but I just,
Wow. So let's go back a little bit, because I have a story about this that I always tell people. So La Bestia, how you call it, the beast, was a train. And it's a train that you said it doesn't stop, and people just climb on and jump off, and it's very dangerous, right? People have died on this train doing the same thing you were doing. And it's just kind of, people like, it's what's called a hot spot, where like immigration knows that that's where they'll find immigrants. So this is the best, like, it's still the best way to do it because it's faster and it's more efficient, but you still know it's almost guaranteed that you're going to run into immigration. And I always tell people this because I remember maybe 10 years ago now, there was a documentary that I was watching, and I think it was called like The Train of Death. And and I was watching it and thinking like, wow, this is insane. Like, just because it was on Netflix, I was like, oh, let me watch. This was early days of Netflix. And I don't know if you came into the room or I told you about it, and you looked at it and you were like, yeah, that's the train that I took. And I just remember thinking like, no, you didn't. Like that. And you were like, no, like I was on that. It might not have been the same exact train, but it was that same like route. Right. And so to me, that's like, to get that visual in my head of what you went through, just put a lot of, I was 18 or 19 at the time, and I was just like, what? Like, and I don't understand it. And I would like to think that I would do the same thing for my kids. And I would, but like that I would be able to accomplish it and to do it. I don't know that I could at that age. And it's crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. It never has. And I don't think it'll ever make sense to me how you accomplish that, other than higher power, other than there was angels in your path. Because so many decisions that you make and that you tell me, like putting 3 pairs of jeans on, like how, like, what, you know what I mean? Like, and meeting a guy that just happens to be like, okay, I'll give you all my drinks and you give me, like,
yeah,
that's so, it's too hard to say that it's a coincidence. Una coincidencia. It's not. It's too many things that are too coincidental, which is, it makes me like, there's a higher power at work, and it was God's will. And I think that's what's beautiful about it. And like, because this, going back to this person, there's a story that I want you to tell.
Yes.
Because I think you tell it best.
Okay.
But, and I think it paints a really good picture about what happens during these trips. And we could talk about this for hours. We're almost at the end here, but I want to make sure that this story is in here because I think it paints a good picture. So let's talk about the night in the desert.
Well, that is something that it make me like nerviosa.
Nervous?
Nervous or
Like gives you anxiety?
Pánico.
Like, yeah.
Panic, yeah, because I grew up in a country that we supposed to see everything, right? And you see snakes and everything, and then that's normal. But after we just jump from La Bestia, el tren, and we need to walk. And we walk and walk and walk a lot. And then it was about time to get dark. And there is this guy who always gives me the drinks for me. And he said, well, this man went to get some food for us, so we have to wait in a place that is far from the street. So we just walk in, and I don't know from where. And if I can tell you name of the cities, forget it. But here is my angel again, and he told me, you know what, Janet, we're not gonna lay down. And I said, but I'm tired. We walk a lot, and I'm so tired. And he said, yes, you're tired, but I just don't want you lay down because I don't trust, because I'm from not from the town, from the little town. It's just, he was from outside, like we call aldeas, and that means from afuera del pueblo.
Yeah. So not like you're from a small town, but he was from somewhere even smaller.
More smaller, correct.
like
Yeah.
like the boonies, you know what I mean? Was what we call
So,
it here.
and he knows how it is to be around to those areas, which I supposed to know, right? But I didn't know exactly how he was. And then he told me, look, you hold your back and my back. We're gonna sit down, but I just want you put your face like this, like, and then I will sleep like this. But we're gonna hold each other back to back. And I don't want you lay down. Please trust me. And I said, but why? I'm tired. I want to, like stretch my legs and everything. He said, please don't do that. Por favor, no lo haga. But he looked like he was begging me, like, not to do that. And I go like, okay, that's fine. And he said, when you want to get up, just tell me. I will help you to get up because I know you're pregnant. And I said, okay, but please, okay, listen to me and don't do anything without telling me. And I go like, oh, this guy is so weird. But I said, okay. And then everybody come and lay down on the floor. And, there was a little like wet areas and a lot of, we call zacate, like hay.
Oh, hay.
Grass, hay. So everybody lay down, like when we were so tired, we fell asleep. But I fell asleep holding my back to his back. And then I don't know what time, probably 4 or 5 in the morning. And he said, Janet, excuse me. And I said, yeah. Are you awake? But he was talking like whispering to me, like, are you awake? And I said, yeah. Do you have your eyes open? And I said, no, because I was like this, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, when you open your eyes, don't scream. Don't scream, please, please. And I go like, what happened? He said, please don't scream and follow what I said. And I go like, okay. And I put my face up. And when I put my face up, oh my God, that was so scary. That was the worst. And I go and I look at a lot of snake around us. Snake, it was brown and yellow. Oh my God, that was so awful. And then my voice disappeared because I couldn't scream, I couldn't say anything. And I was looking, and one of the snake was so big, and she was looking at me like this. And then I go like, and he told me, right, what happened? Are you okay? And I said, yeah. But I was so scared because I saw the snakes around me and then around to the people who was laying down. But they were so, dormidos.
Sleeping. Yeah, they were sleeping.
And the snake was under the legs. Oh, it was so awful. And then I said, what can I do? And he said, let's hold our back and let's go little by little, okay? Don't move, don't do anything without like I have to follow his instructions at that time. And I did what he told me to do, and I get up, and we get up like slow. And he told me to put my feet. He said, you're gonna move little by little. Remember, you're pregnant. This is how we believe back home, right? Because if you're pregnant, you can see the snake, and the snake cannot do anything to you because you get like hipnotizar.
Hypnotized.
Yeah, to the snakes. And I just did what he told me to do. And he said, you know, you can handle this, Janet. Don't be scared, but don't talk loud because everybody will start screaming when they can hear you. And I said, okay, but please help me because I don't know. I'm so scared about the snakes. And that was no little snake, believe me, you guys. It was big snakes. And then he would just put in his feet, like moving a little bit with his shoe like this, the snake. Oh my God, that was terrible. I did what he told me to do, and we just made it. And he said, we're going to go to that tree because I can see mangoes over there. And we just go, and he said, we need to, ¿cómo se dice? Subir. Climb to the tree because everybody's going to start screaming. And I don't want you be down at that time when they start screaming. Here we are. I was pregnant 5 months already. And then I just go like, and I did it. And I climbed to the, climb to the tree. And we was eating mangoes at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And so did everybody wake up and start?
We was eating in the tree, and then everybody started jumping around. But thanks God we was so far away from the street, right? And nobody can hear. But it was so scary. That was so bad. And then he got a lot of mangoes for me. And he said, I'm not going to give mango to them because I know the guy is going to come with breakfast. And I know you don't eat food, but I'm going to save the mangoes. And he just put it in his shirt like this. And he keep those mangoes for me. Everywhere that we go, and he give me a mango to eat.
And what's crazy too, Mom, is I've heard this story a lot of times. I've heard about this person a lot of times. I don't think that you ever told me his name. I don't know what happened to this guy. Because once you guys got here, you guys went separate ways, right? I don't know if you ever talked to him again once you were here.
Well, remember that we don't have any phones. My mama has a phone in the house, but I didn't know the number anyway.
Yeah.
I know him one time because he said that he will come to Mountain View. He will come. His name is Jose. I just don't know if you see me, Jose. No, I don't think you will remember me. But he came to. We came because they sent us in an airplane together because we just go to San Francisco, and then he goes to Mountain View, and I just go to Redwood City, and then in San Francisco we share information, and my mama told them that I live in Redwood City, and he come to visit one time, but I don't know if he went back because he is from El Salvador. So that's it. That no more about him.
So in 30 years, you've never talked to him again?
No.
Which is, it's insane. Like, it's such a story that's like, this person came into your life for 1 month and had such an impact that we're still talking about this man 30 years later, having no idea. And I pray and I hope that this man is living a healthy, beautiful life, and that he's still here, hopefully, and has a family, whatever. But we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. And it's beautiful, it's sad, it's a lot of things, but it's crazy. That's the word that I used today, is crazy, because you get here, and then you're starting a life brand new with nothing, because we had support from my grandma, but my grandma wasn't rich. My grandma was here working just like everybody else and didn't have a lot of extra. Even the money to get you here, I'm sure it took her a long time to save. And so you're basically starting from zero.
Zero. Correct.
And like, how do you feel at that point? Like,
Well, we always trying to live with what we have and live with well, sometimes we just don't ask for anything else because we are so happy and we are appreciated that we have life and we are healthy. I was just dehydrated when I came right here because I didn't want to eat anyway when I came right here. And I have a house because my mama provide over here. But when I came right here, I feel like that I was walking on the street from my country. And I have to go to the psychologist for many years because I couldn't leave that in the past. And it was so sad because I sorry, but I'm a crybaby. When I going out with my mom, I just feel like that I was in Guatemala. And why I stay right here is because it was so hard for me to come. Only 1 month that I spent crossing from my country through here. And I know whatever I have to go through it, it'll be worth it because you. But it was so hard for me to start it, and I couldn't live without my family. And I feel like that I miss them a lot. Probably in that month that I was crossing, I didn't miss them because I didn't have no time because we was, you know, running all over, deal with the snakes, and dealing with mosquitoes too. It was a lot of mosquitoes. So, and it took me for many years to get over this because I have to go through a lot of doctors. Because when we come over here, we just come because we want to have a better life. But it's very hard, especially for me. I'm talking about me. Because we leave everything back home. And, but I know it that I want to have, I want to do this for my kid, for Eric at this time, because I just have him. My stomach, I feel like that I have somebody that I have to do better. And I have to be strong for the little person that I have it. But it was so hard. It was so hard because I miss my sister, my brother, and I miss my family. And here I am crying again because I still remember everything.
so now this brings up a good topic because of what's happening today. Birthright citizenship, right? This is something that, for the people that don't know, is the people that are born here, me specifically, born to my mother, who is an undocumented immigrant. I'm an American citizen. I was born an American citizen. If that amendment, I think it's the 14th Amendment, didn't exist, I would be what is called now like a dreamer, a DACA kid, which means I came to this country with no papers and I grew up here. I guess that's what would happen, and that's what is probably going to happen if this passes through and gets corrected to where people like you that are having kids, their children will not be citizens anymore. And it's something that's very important to me, because I'm grandfathered in at this point, but we don't know what the future holds. Right now, people like me are our government is saying do not deserve citizenship. And it's very sad and it's very scary, because I think about your journey, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one thing that you was going through, because when you're here and you're undocumented, any day it could be gone. Any day you could get caught by ICE. You can get, a speeding ticket, and then they run your plates and they figure out that you don't have papers, and they start the deportation process. At least at that point, that's how it was. Now we live in a beautiful area where our government understands people like you should not be the priority, and that they do want to, yes, you did break the law, but the people that they are going after are people that are here breaking the law, that came here to break the law. But even back then, that wasn't the case. And you understood that any day could be your last here. But you had, I think, that safety that I would stay here as an American citizen. And worst case, I live with my grandma.
Okay.
But talk to me about that. Like how does that go in your head, like daily, knowing that at any point?
Well, it was so scary because my mom, she always, love you guys, love us, and trying to be in doing the best for us, right? And taking care of you guys. But it was so scary for me to go out because I heard and they said if you go into the store, immigration can find you right there and can take you without anything, without to say nobody. And at that time, we didn't have no cellular phone, and it was only in the house, And I didn't go to the gasoline, even in the corner, because I didn't want to, and because I didn't want to live separate.
You didn't want to risk
I
it.
don't want to risk to leave you in here and be alone, and I don't know. It was so scary, and even my mama always told me that don't worry, because if something happened, Eric is going to be okay. He's going to be here. And I know you're going to be with your sister and your family right there. And I said, no, it's not that. It's just because it doesn't matter if we need to be together, because I lived that situation with my mom that we didn't grow up with my mom, because my mom wanted to have a better life for us too. But I miss my mom. We miss our mom. And I know we have a lot of love with grandparents because they did a good job with us. But the kids deserve to be with the family, with the mother, with the father, and it's so scary, like to go to school and not to come back, and the kids are at school and nobody will come to pick them up. And for me, I was thinking about that, and I go like, no, that cannot be.
But that was something that you thought about every day. Basically.
Oh yeah, every moment. In the night when I go into sleep, I just I always pray and I say, God, please don't leave me alone. Don't, please protect my son. Please protect me, because I want to my son grow up with me. I want to teach things to my son, and I want to hear what my son said, mother first. It was something that I didn't sleep good. I just always thinking about it. It was so stressful. So, you know,
So how soon after you got here? Because, and if it wasn't clear already for the people at home, you are an American citizen now. And I mean, I think I was maybe early high school, middle school when that happened. So that was like 10, 15 years ago. You've been a citizen for a long time.
yeah.
Um,
No, I'm sorry.
and before that, you had your green card for a couple years. But when did you say, like, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna start this process? Because I think that's what some people don't understand. People, I hear this a lot. People say they should do it the right way. They should, and I agree that there should be a right way. There should be, and it should be more accessible. I don't think that we should let everybody in, because there's obviously people with bad intentions. But I think for people like you, and I think that's where this country was going. But unfortunately now it seems like it took a very wrong turn. But I think it should be accessible to more people.
Correct.
And I think it should be accessible to all that want to attempt to go for the American dream. But obviously there should be a process. And I think the process now, and even back then, was not accessible. I think it was very difficult, and I don't think it should be easy, because you should want it, you should earn it. But I think what felt almost impossible. I know me, having been a child, helping you through it, it seemed impossible. I never thought the day would come. And I know the day that you told us you were a citizen, that you passed all your tests, was one of the best days of our life. So when did you say, I want to get my papers?
Well, honestly with you, it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
Because your grandma started all this.
Okay.
Because she applied for our papers since we was little.
Okay.
So it take forever
Mm-hmm.
to the permit come, because I came right here with illegal, yes. But at that time, I already had my papers in process because my mama applied for us.
So it was already happening before you.
Yeah, before, yeah. But, because she sent for my sister, so I took the opportunity, because she didn't want it, and I didn't want to miss that. And my mama said that she didn't expect me to come because she was waiting for my papers. And I said, no, I don't want to wait, because I want to take Eric over there to the United States. My son, my baby. So I decided to come without telling her, because my sister didn't want it. But our papers were in process, because my sister never want to come, so she never gave the information to my mom, all the papers that my mama required to put her application. But she did for my brother and my two brothers and myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it take forever.
Yeah.
And I came, when I came after like 2 years later, the permit come, all the process, I need to start it and do it over here. So
2 years later?
Yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't that long, but my mama did it long time ago.
Okay.
Before, I think I was 10 years when my mama put the papers.
Wow.
So
it took about 10 years
yes.
to even get to the point.
Because I was 18 when I came, and then about 2021, I started doing over here. Whatever I just did.
21 years old.
Yeah. So, and then I got my permit first. And then 2 or 3 years later, I got my resident, my green card.
So, and I think that's what people don't understand is it's very easy to say 10 years isn't that long, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, in a lifetime, it's not. But you were 10 years old and she was away from you and she wanted to bring her children, because my grandma that I know has been an American citizen most of my life. I never saw her process, so I always assumed she was already a citizen when you came. And for her to just want her kids here, she put in the paper when you were 10, and you were an adult by the time that it was even, and you were still didn't know. So she missed out on her childhood, on your childhood, trying to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people don't understand is you had to make a decision because you tried the right way and didn't get anywhere. And then you got here and still tried the right way and didn't get your citizenship. And I want to say I was maybe 14 years. And I don't even, because I never asked you exactly how much, but I'm sure it was in the thousands to pay for everything total from the start, because you had to get your green card, you had to get, you had to do all the testing. And I know there was, I'm sure, like lawyers that needed immigration, whatever, consultants. So
When you was 14, I was 14 or 13, something like that, is when I becoming a citizen.
yeah,
Because you told me that it was only me who wasn't a citizen. And I said, I don't need it. And you said, yes, you need it because everybody is a citizen. It's just you,
Yeah.
you're not. So, and I decided to do it because you told me. I didn't want to do it. And it was like, and I put the application, and thanks God, everything came like after 3 months later that I just apply.
Yeah.
3 months later, it came that my application got approved, and I have to go for the fingerprint, and then later for the, ¿cómo se dice? Juramentar.
like your like oath, you took an oath.
So
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Which I think
Citizen.
is also very interesting, because I think a lot of people that are against this, like if they were to take that test, they wouldn't pass it. The only reason I think that you passed it, and that is because it was the same things that I was learning in school, and so I helped you study for the test, and I was like, yeah, Mom, I just learned about this. So it was fresh in my mind. So I helped you pass through all that, because they were asking what the Bill of Rights was and the presidents, and I think that's what I love and hate, because even though you're a citizen, even though I was born a citizen, both of us and my sister, thankfully Yesli lives in an era that she doesn't have to deal with it as much as but we experience hate and racism, and we've been called un-American. We've been told to go back to our country, but you stood before our government and said, I swear to be a good American citizen. And most of these people that are born with, myself included, never did that. We take it for granted, because we never had to say, like, I swear to be
Okay.
a good citizen. I swear that I'm an American. You said, I am an American. You took an oath before our government and before God that you would be a good citizen. And people don't see that. People just see an illegal immigrant. And I think that's what I hope people understand listening to this, that the people that are going through this are willing to take that oath and to be citizens and to be contributing members of society here. And it's something they want, not something that they were given, not something that they take for granted. Because even myself, I take it for granted sometimes. And through everything going on, I know, even with our church this week, we've taken steps to protect people that were in your shoes, we've taken the steps to stand up for those people and to make sure they're protected. And I've gotten a lot of questions because I no longer want to be quiet about it. I think I lived my life a long time wanting to be accepted as an American, but also wanting to be accepted as a Guatemalan, as a Latino. And for people like me, it's very difficult, because it's like they say in Spanish, que ni de aquí ni de allá.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I were to be sent home right now, I've never lived in Guatemala. I love my country. I love visiting my country. And if I had to live there, I would, and I would be fine. But I don't know. I don't know the customs. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up here. Even when I speak Spanish, I think when I was little, I look at videos of me and I had a little bit of an accent. Un acento igual de Guatemala. But I remember getting bullied in school because where we live was a lot of Mexican kids. And they started to hear me and they were like, "You sound funny." Even in Spanish. Like, why do you sound like that? Why do you say, like, we talk about the story of like pisto? Because pisto is a word that in Spanish for Mexican people is like drink. Like, oh, vamos a pistear. We're going to go drink. Quiero pisto, like, or whatever, like that. I want to drink. But for us, pisto's money. So there's a story from when I was little of me going up to you while you were talking to your friend saying, "Mami, mami, dame pisto." Saying, "Mom, can I have money so I can go buy snacks?" And you going, "Yeah, sweetie, it's in my purse." And your friend's looking at you like, "What did you just give your son?" Me being little. And so me saying stuff like that, like, like pisto, chompipe, pajilla, like kids were mean. Even kids that were Latinos would make fun of me because you sound different. So I had to change the way I talked a little bit. So I was like, "Get in that way," you know what I mean? And even to this day, I try to be more, I try to work on my accent a little bit more because I'm proud of who I am. And I think I was always scared to be proud of who I am. I was always scared to admit that I'm the son of an illegal immigrant. And I hate that word, but I'll use that here. Because that's who I am. It's part of my DNA. And there's people that can't speak freely like that, which is terrible because we live in a country that free speech is something that's guaranteed to us, to everybody in this country. And that's the beautiful thing about the United States. But there's people that are scared to speak up. And I refuse to do that again. I refuse to want to be accepted, because if you can't accept me for being the son of an illegal immigrant, if you can't accept me for standing up for those that don't have a voice, then I don't know that I want you to accept me. I don't want to be accepted by people like that, because those aren't my people. And I know there's a lot of Americans out there, whether they're white, whether they're Latino, whether they're, Middle Eastern, that feel this way, that are humans and love people regardless of where they come from and what their status is. And those are my people. That is the America that I love. That is the America that I want to be a part of. And it just, like I said, I'm happy that I got to tell your story, that I got to be a part of this. This is an episode we've talked about for a long time. And it's one that is very near and dear to my heart. And it's me putting myself out there because, like I said, it's something scary. Because I know, especially the industry that I work in and the friends that I've made along the way, is very much, there's a lot of pro-Trump. And I don't care if you're pro-Trump. I don't care. I can respect people that put their family's priorities number one, because that's what I'm doing. If you want your priority to be cheaper food, cheaper gas, because your family needs it, because your family's struggling, I understand. But to me, my priority is that those rights are not taken from people. I will gladly pay a little bit more for food if it means that people have human rights. And I would rather have both. I would rather have cheap gas and human rights, but human rights is always going to be number one for me. And it was always scary because I know there's going to be a lot of people that follow me for what I do for work and follow me for what I've built as far as my social media following, that may listen to this and shut it off and unfollow me. And that was scary when I was younger because I worked really hard to build this. But I it's the same thing where if that makes you unfollow me, that I'm telling your story and I'm standing up for people that are my people, then I don't want those people following me anyways. And I'm gonna do better to stand up for those people, and do better to tell my story, and do better to let the world know that I am American, but I'm also Guatemalan. But this was longer than I expected. But I hope, if you're still watching, that at least you get to see things from our perspective. If you didn't live the things that we lived, that at least you understand why we do the things that we do. And it's no different than you. It's no different, because all we want is a long, prosperous life. All we want is for our children's lives to be better than our lives. All we want is to have that American dream. We just have to take another step. And it's a scarier step. And we're willing to do that extra mile to be just like you. And I think that's the best way to put it. And I hope that people understand that. And I hope that that's the message, that we start understanding each other. And I think that's the only way that the world will be a better place. If we start being open and having our hearts open. Because I'm not going to change everybody's mind. That's not realistic. But I am, like I said, I'm just hoping that we understand each other. And move forward understanding each other. And I think that will bring together a lot of this country and a lot of our fellow Americans.
Let me just add something. Okay, I don't know if this is something that I can sometimes, like you say, there is a lot of people who come to work, and this is me, but I know a lot of people who just come and do the best and work very hard. We don't depend of the, how do I say, la ayuda del gobierno.
Government assistance.
Government assistance. Because like me, I just came to work and I never qualify for anything. Because I just come to work. I just came to make the difference over here. There is some people who working really hard, not only me, and make the difference on this country. So I'm just letting you guys know that hating each other is not good. It's not good. Let's be loving each other, respect each other, because there is a lot of good people around. And let's respect each other. I respect whoever are beside to me, because I don't know those people. But I mean, having respect is the key of the peace. So let's spread that. Let's spread the love, because God is good.
Amen. There you go. Well, look at that. I think that's a good way to end the show. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'd love to do more stories like this. I'd love to talk to more people in my family like this. So if this is something that you resonated with, we ask that you share it. Share the video. I'll be sharing clips to social media. So a like and a share go a long way. So we can get her story out and we can touch more people's hearts, and we can, start a conversation with more people. So on that note, guys, this has been Turtle Talk. Thank you to my mom for doing this episode with me. Thank you to my family for supporting us while we're setting this up and taking over your kitchen. So thank you to my wife and everybody. Like I said, this is a team effort. It takes a village, and I think that's good. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.